All right. Hello. Here to have a discussion with you all. I got some things I want to talk about, and I swear it's just a whole mess. All of the clout chasing and the demonizing and all of the fear mongering and stuff has really, really gotten so old, so very, very old. And so I was looking at some witches last night that were discussing this topic, and I wanted to come and speak about it real quick. Um, about how various religions, and they invoke the names of these gods. One of them being Jesus Christ, Yahshua, and various gods of certain religions, and they always tend to hide behind these certain names, right? You know, when, yes, it is a reality that there are possibly times that people can be hurt by witchcraft. Um, yeah, I am in agreement with that. But that doesn't mean that you have to condemn the entire practice, especially when it comes to the various beliefs which can be different amongst witches. And it seems like it's always like this focal point. Always. It's like they skip over all of the other evils, like political evils. They just kind of skip over those and they focus on it and they demonize every single witch. And whenever, like I've been looking at these crazy, weird videos where, they always show the Satanic Church and anti-LaVey and Aleister Crowley and, the upside down inverted pentacle, and when they don't even know what that means. I think that if it's something that you genuinely don't understand, how can you be so against it? You know? And, I am of a belief in which everybody has the right to believe in what they want, that it's all the same. The only difference is that, witches, we tend to tap in to the unknown. And especially when you have like it's a total it's like it's so much confusion around witches. And I think that here's what I want to say. As a witch, I have never in my life went after or targeted a church or a church member or an innocent person. I've never done that. Not ever. I've never set out to hurt or harm anybody in my life. And to just be automatically demonized. Okay, and I'm going to bring up a very important point. I'm sorry, guys. I'm in my kitchen doing my dishes. I'm going to bring up a very, very valid point to debunk every single argument of that. Give me a second. I'm going to grab my phone. I'm about to bring up a very, very valid point that I would like for these people to sort of, put in their pipes and smoke it. Okay, I'm about to bring up a very valid point here. Okay, It looks like YouTube is not sending out my notifications. So they've been doing that for the longest, blacklisting witches and stuff like that. They've been doing that, and it's unfair. It really is. I used to get, I used to have a really, really wide, large audience, and they purposely blacklist the witches, which is unfair and unconstitutional. Might I add, unfair and unconstitutional. Okay, but I'm gonna stand here and do my dishes and say my piece about it. You cannot continue to make excuses for your need to dehumanize people and treat people bad. I think that the reason why they pick on witches, period, is because they need somebody to bully. That's really what I think it is. They need somebody to bully. They need somebody to look down upon, and why not? This is what's been happening for centuries. I was watching a couple of videos on this topic. Okay. What they fail to realize is that you're not necessarily dealing with evil witches, which, yeah, there's some evil witches out there. Trust me. Trust me. And they don't like muggles. They don't like people that are considered to be muggles. They have a chip on their shoulder. I will admit to that, okay? But the one thing that none of these people take account of is that you're not necessarily dealing with evil witches. You're dealing with evil spirits. And regardless to if one practices witchcraft, you're still going to have to deal with that evil spirit. Most people are not even dealing with evil witches. You're dealing with an evil spirit. Now, I think that so many religious people are taught that when you die, you just kind of float up to heaven, or either you go down to hell, and that's not what happens. So, for example, they want to demonize witchcraft because it's the Day of the Dead. They want to demonize Halloween because it's the Day of the Dead. The dead are going to do whatever they want to do. So while they're focusing on, which I think that you should focus on, prayers and protecting yourself against evil witches. I mean, hell, as a witch myself, I have to do that. Okay, I have to protect myself from other witches. Okay, but take into account of the evil spirits that you may be encountering on a day-to-day basis. Okay, even if every witch put down her broomstick, let's put it like this, you still gonna have to deal with evil spirits. And a lot of those evil spirits, okay, are unaffected and don't care about a cross or a crucifix. A lot of them don't care. A lot of them will be totally unaffected. A lot of times they'll look at you like, and they'll laugh in your face and they'll go, huh, what is that supposed to do? Okay. And if you feel that you have been a victim of witchcraft, stand in line. You're preaching to the choir, hon. We have all been cursed or hexed or slighted by a witch our whole life. We've been cursed and slighted by religious people too. I've had religious people do some awful things to me. I felt nothing but hatred and visceral coming from some religious people. Very, very scary energy, just hating me, because of how I choose to live my life, which is what? Making tinctures and herbs. There's something evil about that. There's something sinister about doing medium readings and communicating with the dead, which you're going to communicate with them anyway. I think people, when you And see, this is one of the reasons why witches have an attitude. Like a lot of them will have that attitude to where they want to put the middle finger up to you. This is the reason why. Because even having this discussion, let me tell you something. To anybody in this world that hates my guts, you was gonna hate my guts regardless if I was a witch or not. You was gonna find a reason to dislike me. Okay? You was gonna find a reason to dislike me. And it doesn't matter. Okay? But I've noticed this, and I think that if somebody just generally is not bothering you, okay, I think if somebody is not trying to bother you, if somebody is not trying to do harm to you, then I think you should leave that person alone. Okay, I think it's a lot of hate where it doesn't need to be. And it just is totally ridiculous. As a witch, I refuse to fall into those stereotypes. Okay, but then again, I am the type of person to where when I get irritated because you're trying to, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that are trying to take away people's rights or choices. If a person wants to come to me and if they want to decide that they want to preserve as many years of their life as possible instead of spending a lifetime in the church, praying, if they, you know what I'm saying? I think that people should stop trying to take that right away from people. Okay. So that's when, you know what I'm saying? That's when they, that's not right. And I've been going through it for years, just trying to practice, trying to advertise my business on this website, and you constantly got somebody harassing you or stalking you. And that's not government funded. Getting food stamp benefits every month is not considered government funding. I mean, I guess it could technically. That's some dusty, we're going to call that dusty funding, okay? There is no higher sect, like some high sect or order of the government that wants to harass Jamila. Now, if they took note that I made a plane fall out of the sky, then they probably be targeting me. Okay? But since they know, because the government knows me, they know that I am of sound mind, body, and spirit, and that I ain't trying to do harm to nobody. Okay? So, I think that we got to stop the hate. We got to stop the hate and the bull crap. Then another thing is that how would y'all know if not or is doing the work of God? I talk to people every single day that it seems like, and like, so for example, it's always witchcraft. And so here's what I don't like. Let me tell y'all something. Okay, so I'm a witch, right? But I don't have a problem with pointing out when other witches are wrong, right? Do you ever see me just trying to make it seem like all witches are perfect and what they do and the decisions that they make are just perfect, perfect, perfect? No, I don't. I tell the truth. I'm very honest. Okay? Whenever that happens, I do. Can you please give me credit for that? But when it comes to religion, you know, religious people don't call their own people out usually. They don't. You know what they do? They go and they say witchcraft. It's like, well, quit demonizing witchcraft and demonize the negative entities that you're dealing with, because that's what you're dealing with. Okay, you know, and so when it comes to like energies and you know, vibes that you get from other people, like for example, this Halloween, oh, my group is gonna be protected. Absolutely. My loved ones, my peeps are gonna be protected from it all. Seriously. But you know, they've been making videos boycotting Halloween. How you gonna boycott spirits? But they always say we need to boycott Halloween because of witchcraft. If you're gonna boycott Halloween, then you might as well say, hey, I'm boycotting Halloween because of the spirits that roam the earth. And if you're going to boycott one spirit, you have to boycott them all. Okay? I can imagine that on Halloween, you know, if your deceased relative appears to you and wants to give you a hug and say, I love you, are you going to be boycotting Halloween then? You know, think about the positive aspects of it, okay? There's a lot of, you know, we're healers. You know, a lot of people, I can tell you one thing, there is nothing worse than losing your loved one, okay? Than losing your loved one. Somebody that you love is gone forever, and you'll never be able to hug them or say hi to them or tell a joke with them and laugh, right? You'll never be able to do that again. And a lot of us do medium readings. It's been so much hoopla about witchcraft that I haven't done a real actual medium reading. I'm sorry, guys, I'm doing my dishes. I haven't done a real actual medium reading in a while because I feel like they have people scared of their own ancestors. Okay? Now, I do think that it is important for you to understand that sometimes when you're doing a medium reading, you have to be patient. There's certain characteristics about your loved one, certain things that they may say to you that I may say, okay, to you that's coming from that person. And if I come to you and I say something and you say, no, that don't sound like that person, then that's the wrong spirit. Then that ain't it. That would be somebody that's stepping in that may be either wanting to speak or a lie or something. And yeah, that does happen. Okay, but we do a lot of good for people. I know that I do a lot of good for people. So I'm tired of being demonized. Like, nobody just, witches, we don't just flip out. You know, a lot of us are very well balanced people. Yes, if you poke us, we will bleed. We are human just like you know, only except we know how to tap into supernatural powers within ourselves. And I think that everybody has the ability to do that on some level. So, and, you know, me being a witch or deciding to take this path because I didn't have to. Okay. I didn't have to take this path. I could have taken another path. Okay. As far as with what, you know, I want to do with myself, right? Because I've done a lot in my life. And but in my opinion, what I'm going to say to a lot of the witches that are being discouraged, listen, if a person does not like you, you being a witch has nothing to do with it. Okay? Love yourself because that person was going to dislike you regardless. And you can't change who you are. And certainly, if you're a witch, you don't want to change who you are to fit people's narrative. Now, I do believe in people being able to do what they want to do. Okay. I prefer to be around people that, are not rude or, you know, I do. But if a person wants to say, hey, screw you, who am I to tell that person how to be? I just know that I have the power to shut it down because I don't have to listen to it. But I think that, okay, I being a witch, right, looking at the world, do I believe that all Christians are under some kind of hypnosis? Some people believe that. No, I actually believe in the power of Christ, okay? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to deny the power of other deities. I'm not going to do that, okay? Hold on, y'all. Oh, thank you. She's so sweet. Yeah, so I mean, I know that I think that if you, so like for me, for example, I truly have faith in what I do, in spite of the huge initiative to destroy the businesses of witches. You see it all the time. You see witches being discriminated against when it comes to housing. What I will say before I go is that try not to make it yourself look greedy, okay? Because it seems like they know and they've been knowing for thousands of years that people love to go to witches. Why? Because we always, not all of us, so every situation is not good, but we help people a lot. Okay, we help people a lot. And please don't like make it look like you just want to sit in the pulpit and take all, because this earth belongs to us witches too. We have rights as well. Okay, so I am also, because I've been looking at a few witches that have been talking about this, and I believe that when you do hear witches talking about that, especially when I hear it, it just kind of it lets me know that something is up. Okay, and my heart goes out to the witches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. My heart is light as a feather, is what I can tell you. You know why? Because even though I know that witches have the ability to throw evil stuff at me, at the end of the day, I believe in my own power. I believe in God, and I believe that God loves us all. Okay? Hi, Karen. I believe that God loves us all. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to see who this missed call is. I think it was a phone call that I had been waiting on. Yeah, I'm going to see who this was. So I will see y'all later. Have a wonderful evening. Honestly, I want everybody to have a wonderful Halloween so that we can commune with spirits and not be afraid of them, okay? And not freak out. It's a beautiful thing, communing with your ancestors and healing through that. It's nothing wrong with that. And I'll see y'all later because I got to see who this is that called me. It may have been somebody. I'm not sure who it was, but yeah. So anyway, peace to y'all and blessings. Okay. Bye-bye.